Oi folkies, Halde Pottinger here, your friendly neighbourhood RugbyPass Fan Zone host, and let's talk Lions. So Warren Gatland has just named his 37-man squad to take on the might of the world champions in South Africa. We've got 11 Englishmen, we've got 10 Welshmen, we've got 8 Irish, but we have got 8 Scots. And never has there been so much excitement in Scotland for a British and Irish Lions rugby tour since, 1997? When we were in South Africa playing the world champions, and Scotland had 5 selections that time. We had Alan Tate, Doddy Weir, Rob Wainwright, Tom Smith, and current Lions assistant coach Gregor Townsend. We now have 8 selections. Let's quickly go through each of those 8 selections and let's see why they were made in the first place, and if any of those 8 will actually make the test squad. Let's look at the first person, Rory Sutherland. Now, Rory Sutherland is a fantastic, solid scrummager. He's a great defender and he is fantastic in the loose. He used to be a back rower. When he came up to make his senior debuts with Hoyk, he then moved into the front row. Now, he's got heart. He came back from a serious injury in 2017 when it was almost thought that the rugby career might be finishing, but he has come back bigger and stronger than ever, and he can mix it in with the best of them. We have seen that day in, day out, week in, week out, game in, game out, over the last 2 years. Anybody who's a fan of Scottish rugby, anyone who's a fan of Edinburgh rugby, seeing Rory Sutherland on the Lions squad for South Africa will come as no surprise. A lot thought he was carrying an injury over the last few weeks, but he would not be picked unless he was 100% fit, and I cannot wait to see what he can do when he is unleashed in South Africa. And now brings us on to this guy, Zander Fagerson. Now Zander has been one of the informed, tight head props in all the home nations rugby for the past few seasons. Anybody who follows Glasgow closely, follows Scottish rugby, knows how good a player he is. But during this year's Six Nations, when this happened, we all thought his chances were gone. But no, he obviously had a bit of credit in the bank and he has secured his seat on that plane to South Africa. He's a great scrummager. He's a fantastic scrummager, and for such a big guy, he's brilliant in the loose. He's a solid defender, he chats to the team, and another thing that he brings is a bite. Sometimes he can find himself on the wrong side of the ref, but you need a bit of that wildness, you need a bit of bite, especially when you're coming up against the might of a big Springbok pack. Zander Fagerson, fantastic choice at tight head. Now, what can we say about this next player that hasn't already been said? Hamish Watson. Possibly the first name on many rugby fans' Lions squad. The player of the 2021 Six Nations. He is phenomenal. Arguably one of the best flankers, back rowers in the game at the moment. Just looking at those stats in the 2021 Six Nations, he was leading. And one really cool thing about him, in the 4 or 5 turnovers that he had, and you can add in your 321 metres carries, the 50, 60 odd tackles that he did not concede a penalty. He did not concede a penalty. Hamish Watson is just fantastic, and we are delighted to see him gain his rightful place on that plane. He missed out 4 years ago unfairly, but he's there, and I cannot wait to see that mullet in action. So one selection that not even maybe the most hopeful Scottish supporter thought would happen is for this guy, Ali Price. Now, Ali Price has been on the scene for a few seasons now. He's a 40 capper, and he brings, I think, a different edge than what the Lions have with their other scrum halves in Gareth Davies and Conor Murray, who has to be seen as the test starter for now. Now, Ali Price had his battle with Greg Laidlaw, developed as a player. Greg Laidlaw retired, and then George Horn came on the scene. That almost gave Ali Price an extra oomph, an extra bump, a kick up the arse maybe, that he needed, and he has gone on to become a very solid international player. He needs to work on his box kicks, or he needs to start speaking to the players around him to give him that protection. But he brings a different edge. He brings a different dynamic, and it's all about the balance, as Warren Gatland said. Ali Price, good shout. And then you've got this guy, Finn Russell. Imagine the outcry from fans of rugby worldwide if Finn Russell did not make the squad. Developed as a player under Townsend's guidance at Glasgow into the Scotland team before that big money move to Racing. Now at Racing he is just surrounded by talent, and Finn Russell has that key to unlock the talent. He gets the best and most from players around him. Now he comes with a bit of controversy, he comes with a bit of crack, he comes with a bit of a wild streak, but we like that. That's what makes him him. That's what makes him the player he is. That's what gives him this freedom. And on his day, he can be one of the best number 10s in the world. He can kick so well tactically. He can do things with the ball that no other player can even think about. And I feel sorry for the Springboks, who if they come up against Finn Russell on form, he's unstoppable. And it's going to be fantastic to see. Now this is the most photographed place in Scotland, but this next player certainly doesn't have the most photographed face in Scotland. See how I did that? Chris Harris. Chris Harris is a phenomenal player. He has been playing for Gloucester for a while. He has taken his opportunities for Scotland, and he has almost made that number 13 jersey his own. Now he is in the squad for one reason and one reason only, and that is his defence. He can provide enough at running, he's a good strike runner, and he knows the game. But what a defender. What a defender. If you are still on the fence about the introduction of Chris Harris to the Lions squad to South Africa, I invite you to check out Scotland's win over France in Paris just this past Six Nations. Chris Harris was phenomenal, and that is why he is in the squad. And then this guy, Big Duhan van der Merwe, our spring jock, or Scotbok. Big Duhan has been just a revelation on the international scene. He's top try scorer in the Six Nations. He has been performing hugely well for Edinburgh, and he brings something that there's no other player like it in the whole Lions squad. He brings that physicality, he brings that strength, he brings that muscle. Not the finished product. There are some thoughts about his effectiveness in defence and things like that, but he will learn and thrive from the environment that the Lions squad is going to give him, and he's going to score tries. If they're going to get him the ball out in the wing, he will score tries. If he doesn't score tries, he will create that space for others to score a try. Big Duhan, a shoe-in, good man. And then the player to complete the 8. Captain Scotland, Stuart Hogg. Throughout the whole debates that have been raging for maybe the last 2 years, but certainly more frequently in the last few months, Stuart Hogg has literally been the first player on everybody's team sheet. I have not seen commentators, pundits and experts test squad or test team without Stuart Hogg at 15. He's done it all. He's brilliant with Exeter, taking that form from Glasgow, and he's arguably one of the most consistent players playing the game. He's got some unfinished business. He was obviously there on the last Lions tour, which was cut short with a bit of a freak injury. So he's out to prove himself again. He's out to make that name, to go down as one of the greatest Scottish players, but hopefully one of the greatest Lions as well. Stuart Hogg. So should any Scottish players be feeling slightly aggrieved that they're not making the plane, they're not joining the 8 on the trip down to South Africa, we have to give a wee shout out, I think, to the likes of Jamie Ritchie. He's been a fantastic flanker, and his time will come. Maybe a wee shout out to Johnny Gray as well. Very consistent player, and he's doing all he can at Exeter. He's adding try scoring to the list, and his time may come yet. His time may come yet. I would like to think that they are both definitely on the standby list, and I do also think that Fraser Brown and Stuart McInally were both fit and had a good Six Nations, then they would definitely have been in with a shout. would be great to hear what you guys think, so if you have any opinions, are there too many Scots, is there not enough, give a wee comment below. And to follow everything that's happening this summer down in South Africa, make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Pass. So when we're actually talking test time, how many of our 8 are actually going to be making it into that match day 23? Talking right now, without seeing any rugby played yet in South Africa, we have to say Stuart Hogg. We have to say he is a shoo-in. It is his jersey to lose at the moment. If they have some cracking games and they are hitting the right form, you have to look at the likes of Finn Russell. You have to look at the likes of Duhan van der Merwe. If they are on form, if they are on fire, it will be hard for anyone else to knock them off their perch. And then if things are going really well, you've obviously got the likes of Ali Price, Zander, Rory, Chris. They're on tour. They've got a chance. They have a chance to make that test squad, to make that 23. I would like to think that at least at some stage throughout the tour, throughout the 3 tests, that all 8 would at least get a test cap each. It's nothing short of what is deserved for the last 2 years as gone to Scottish rugby. But I think we can all agree right now that it is going to be one hell of a tour, and we cannot wait for it to start. Good luck to everybody, not just the Scottish guys, but good luck to all 37, all the management, everybody involved, and let's see a win. Let's see a serious win come back to Britain and Ireland. Come on, boys.